You are in the married status. Do you think marriage is still the end goal in relationships nowadays, or what?
Oh, nowadays, I don't think it is. I don't think people like value and respect marriages the way that they used to, like in my parents' days and in my grandparents' days. They took it out through anything. Like they got through any and everything. And at the end of the day, they would still come home, go to sleep, crush everything that they were going through and like make it work. But I think people are too busy like being excited about stealing a man or stealing a woman or being a side chick or a side dude. Like they value that more than, actually having a family.
I agree wholeheartedly. Do you think social media plays a part in that?
Huge part in it. You got Snapchat where you could talk to people and the messages disappear. I feel like that's a setup. That's
Private messages on Messenger, that's the setup.
yes, like I feel like social media plays a huge part in it, and I think that's why like back then, if you wanted to holler at somebody, you would have to physically go and holler at them. Like now, you could just send them a message on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and like y'all can be talking. And if you have a spouse that's like, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna trust you, then there's no telling how long that can go on until it comes to light.
I
Yeah.
agree. I
But even
agree.
if you try to hide it, it's always gonna come to light.
Always,
Mhm.
always.
Mhm.
I
I agree.
agree. And here's one thing about marriage, circling back on the marriage aspect. You actually ended up pregnant on your honeymoon, if my memory serves me correct. Is that right?
I did. I have a Dominican Republic baby.
Exactly right. I remember you brought a gift back for Ricky. What was it? Jamaica Me Happy? Was that the name of it?
It's called Mama Juana. So it's an aphrodisiac. It's a liquor that they make there. And in Dominican Republic, the saying goes, if you drink Mama Juana in Dominican Republic, you come there with two people, you leave with three people.
Is that what they say?
That's the saying.
And that's what happened.
Did you
Happened.
Did you know that?
No. So the bartender, so everything we were staying in an all-inclusive resort. So we were tipping our bartender well, like he was taking care of us. Like he was like, "Oh, here, I mixed this up for you. Try this, try this." So he was like feeding us that mama wana like crazy. It's a huge thing
Oh,
over there. Yeah, he was like, we were like knocking it back, and then we went on an excursion, and they gave us two free bottles of mama wana. So we were,
wow.
yeah, so we were just like, we were killing it. And then the bartender was like, you know what they say in Dominican Republic? You drink mama juana, you come with two, you leave with three.
Wow. So why would he set you up like that?
They set me up. They got over on the player, man. Yeah.
That is insane. I had no idea. That's a new one for me.
Yeah. So we have a bottle in there that we still haven't opened. I'm done. Never.
It's funny when Amy and I were trying to get pregnant. Remember we went to that Ripley's Believe It or Not, and they had a stone, a statue that came from some part of the world, and they said if you were to rub this stone, you would end up pregnant. A fertility statue or something like
They
that.
had one in the office, in the office, and every woman in that office that walked past that statue was pregnant at the same time. They were all
People
pregnant.
would come from different parts of the world just to rub this stone. And up to that part, we had like several miscarriages and everything. And then boom, Lee pops up after, she rubs this stone. I try not to believe in stuff like, hey, this artifact has this type of power
I
or
believe
something
in
like
it.
that.
Yeah. No, I believe it.
All that energy and magic, I believe in all that.
Yeah. No, for real. Like we weren't trying to have a baby immediately. Like I love my kid and I'm thankful for her, but we weren't trying to have a baby right then.
Your pregnancy
It was
was
insane. I knew you
insane.
were pregnant. Though. Remember, I told you on the couch. You're like, no, I'm good. I'm like, all right.
I didn't. I went 4 months and didn't know anything.
Because I just remember your evil sister, Tori. She was telling us about all the complications you were going through, and she cursed out a nurse, or was that you during that time?
That was my sister. That was my
That's
sister.
why I said that.
Evil sister.
Now the good sister, because I be cursing out the nurses too. I ain't gonna lie.
Deserved every bit of that.
Mm.
Every bit of it. She deserved it.
Yeah, we love to hear more of that story. Now, here's one thing. You're a young black entrepreneur. You're the CEO of not one, but two companies, two thriving businesses. you have tailor-made rentals, you have Rock My Bundles. Can you tell us a little bit about your businesses?
Yeah, so I'll start with Rock My Bundles first because that's my first baby. Me and my best friend Toya Taylor, we talked about it and planned, we talked about it for like over a year. It was like a little bit before we had gotten married, where we were talking about like the hair business and how successful it is. And we noticed that there weren't a lot of good price options in Waco. So we were like, well, let's give it a try. We're gonna do like a practice trial, a practice run. Of course, we tested the products for ourselves before putting it out to the public.
Yeah, you got to.
So, yeah, so like I was wearing it, I was wearing the hair, Toya was wearing the hair.
What hairstyle did you first try when you put it in, when you installed it?
It was body wave. Body wave was my first thing. We all had different textures and we would all treat it differently. So like we would do like our everyday lifestyles. Like we would go swimming in it, we would work out and see if it tangled up, we would sleep without a bonnet on, you know what I'm saying? We would do everything to test it to make sure that it was a good quality. And so like once we did it, we're like, okay, let's give it a try. Let's go ahead and go live and advertise. So like my first like set of hair, I probably sold out in like 2 weeks, which is great because my name wasn't out there yet. They didn't know to trust me or not.
Mm-hmm.
And like we sold out first 2 weeks. And so we've been pretty much thriving ever since. It'll be 2 years in August. So we started that like around the time that I found out I was pregnant. I was actually in the hospital selling hair.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I can't wait till, you and Amy can jump into the whole pregnancy. It seems like there's a lot of stories in that,
A lot of
I would
stories.
call it chapters.
Yeah.
A lot of it. I could write a book about it. It's crazy.
That's insane. That is insane.
So you were actually selling while you were in the hospital. Did who made sure that they were receiving the product and everything? That, hey, we're giving them wavy instead of Malaysian. How did people?
Malaysian is the origin, wavy is the texture.
Whatever. How did people know? How are people getting the right product?
I used to sell hair, so I know.
Diamonds was doing it.
Diamonds was doing it. I like had the hair in the hospital with me.
Mm-hmm.
Because people like hit me up and I'm like, baby, I don't know what you want me to do. And like pretty much just like very adamant about like, please, I don't want to buy hair from anybody else. I have an appointment. And I'm just like, dang, like somebody had graduation pictures.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna let you down. Hey, can you run to the car, get in the trunk and get my box of hair out? Because I keep it all in the same area or whatever. And so like I would just like pick out the textures, give them to him, and then I would like rubber band them up and put initials on them and like, this goes to this person. This goes to that person.
Pause. How you just did the rubber band motion, if I didn't know you, I would think you were a former drug dealer in your past life. But I think it speaks on your customer service that even while you're in the hospital, just had a baby, and people don't know, you almost died during that time, you were still, you still gave such a great level of customer service that I think it just speaks volumes on the type of customer service you get. And you don't get that with a lot of people. If you look on social media, the chief complaint for Black-owned businesses, people are always saying the customer service sucks. Yeah. Now, you always have to put yourself in your customer's shoes, you know what I mean? Well, how would I feel? Would I want that business to go the extra mile for me? And it looks like that's something that you pride yourself in doing with Rock My Bundles.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would want the same thing if I was buying something from like, because everybody wants to support small businesses, but you have to like give the customer service in order to keep the people coming. So like, I try not to let my customers down no matter what it is. Like, you need a certain texture by next week. Cool, I'm gonna order it. I'm not gonna guarantee you that I'm gonna have it, but I'm gonna try my best. I'll even like, there's been times I've even paid the extra for the quicker shipping just so that I can make sure that my customer had their hair by the time that they need it. So you gotta go above and beyond for your customers.
You are exactly right. And that's how you build your clientele, to get more customers.
Because I'll tell you what.
In the business of marketing, nothing is better than word of mouth. It spreads like wildfire, So if a customer has a bad experience, they're going to tell everybody they know, hey, don't go here. But if a person has a great experience, man, they're telling Aunt Sue, Aunt Betty Mae, you know, Sally Mae, her, and they're just telling everybody to, hey, shop with this person.
That's pretty much
So those, I don't even really advertise for my hair as much anymore
Mm-hmm.
because for that purpose, I have like the same people that come to me. So by the time I get it, I'm pretty much selling it to somebody else because of word of mouth, which shout out to everybody, all of my customers. I appreciate y'all.
Where can people find Rock My Bundles if they're in the market for hair products? Like you say, the Malaysian is the origin and the body wave is the style. Where can they find these products?
My personal Facebook page, I keep hair on hand, Instagram, or our website, www.rockmybundles.com.
And for people who aren't familiar with your personal Facebook, can you give them your name and your Instagram so they can find those products?
My name for Facebook, I don't have a business page for Rock My Bundles because it would be too much having 3 pages. So it's just my personal page or Kaylin Powell Horn. Or my Instagram, I actually have a Instagram for it, and it's Rock My Bundles.
And we'll leave links for those inside the video, so we'll make sure everybody can find that, okay? Perfect. Hey, no problem. Now, Tailor Made Rentals. I like the play on the name. Now, however, you just said something. I didn't know Toya's last name was Taylor as well. Is that what you said?
Yeah, Toya's last name is Taylor.
I had no idea because her and, you know, I didn't know that was her last name. So I don't know. It's almost like the name is a double entendre. You know what I mean? Because I was thinking Taylor, your daughter, when I saw Tailor Made Rentals. But now I see it's Toya's last name too. So that's insane. That is insane. Can you tell us a little bit about Tailor Made Rentals?
Tailor Made Rentals is my second baby. The reason why I started the business is because I've always promised myself if I have a kid, or however many kids I have, I'm going to either start a business or get a degree because babies are expensive. So when after that, they are. So after I had Taylor, I was like, man, what can I do that's jumping right now? So I had Taylor February 14th, right? And so I'm just like thinking, March came around and I'm just like, what can I do? There's something, you know, I want to invest. I want to do something where, you know, I can see my money growing. And then I went to a trail ride and I saw a bounce house. Like all kids love bounce houses, right? So I saw the bounce house and I was like, I think I'm gonna buy some bounce houses tomorrow. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, I want to do bounce houses and water slides. Like, I think that'll be great for the summer. So I started off with 2 water slides. And like we had a great summer. Last year was our first summer doing it. And we had a great summer. We stayed booked from the time I bought it. So like June the 1st is when we went live. So pretty much from June all the way up until it started getting cool in October, we were booked every weekend.
Oh, that's amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it was good. Word of mouth once again. Word of mouth was amazing. So then after that, like we bought a bounce house because a lot of people were like, hey, do you have bounce houses? But I didn't. I wanted to start small because I needed to know how we were going to do. Like, I didn't want to go just all in and then like fail because there are a lot of bounce house businesses in Waco.
Correct. And you touch on a good point there. A lot of people that are, you know, thinking about jumping into being a business owner, they don't understand the concept of return on investment or ROI. If you put tons of money into the startup of something and you don't know how you're going to do, there's the potential of making a loss there. You know what I mean? So you did it the smart way. You bought a couple, you tested the waters. Once you saw that it worked, you then invested in more, you know?
So once I made my money back from buying the water slides, so like one water slide, once I made the money back from one of those, I reinvested my money and bought a bounce house. And so that's how I did. And then by that time, like summer was over. And then we lost the bounce house. It flew off the back of the truck.
Oh, wow. I remember the day that happened. You were like, you know, was in South Waco where you lost it, right?
Okay, so we have no idea where it flew off.
See,
It was somewhere.
Flew off around LaSalle, right?
Yes, it's somewhere between East Waco and LaSalle. And keep in mind, we had only rented it out like 3 times max.
Wow.
So we were like, we had just picked it up. It was late too, because we like to let you keep it until at least about 8 or 9 o'clock. So we had left the family reunion, went to go pick it up.
Mhm.
And so we drove from East Waco to Tucker Bottom. If you don't know where that is, it's like right in Galinda.
Yeah, nobody does.
So it flew off. Like we got back to Galinda from East Waco, and we got out of the truck, and I was like, "Get back in the truck." I was like, "What? Why? Why am I getting back in the truck?" And he said, "We gotta go." I'm like, "Where are we going?"
Oh, he didn't even say anything at this point.
Oh, because he knows how dramatic I am. So I'm
Yeah.
like, "Where? Why are we getting back in the truck? Where are we going?" So I'm like getting back in the truck, looking lost and confused. He's like, "The bounce house isn't in the back of the truck."
Wow.
I was like, "You gotta be playing. I helped you load it on. We closed the truck. Like it has to be back there. I know."
So the tailgate was closed.
It was closed. Even when we got back to the country, the tailgate was closed still.
See I thought, maybe they tied it up and the tailgate wasn't closed. That's how it got out. And I was like, people don't understand a bounce house is heavy. So that truck is still pretty new. So those shocks and struts are really good on that truck. So even with it flying off, it's not gonna, change how that truck sits pretty much. So he had no idea it flew off.
We drove for, we don't even know how long because we don't know where it fell off. So we like retraced our steps all the way back. We had people like on the streets looking like it was a lost child because we had just, you know what I'm saying, $800. We had just took an L because we had just purchased it. We had rented it probably like 3 times. And so we like retraced our steps, went back, nothing. Like I thought somebody would be like, "Hey, we found it, Waco Drive, come get it."
Man,
Nothing, because they're heavy. It's not a one person.
Yeah. So somebody that found it, they called a group of people to, hey, let's take this to wherever it goes. And it's crazy on social media. You see these stories like a child finds $1 million here and they call somebody, but then they find
a bounce house and nobody calls anybody.
Still to this day, almost a year later, like we don't know what happened to it. We don't know where it went. Like we'll see pictures of bounce house and I'm like, "That's my bounce house." That's my bounce house. I know that's my bounce house. No, like we still have not, like nothing, no clue of where it went. Like, and it's like you said, it's heavy. Like they're heavy. It takes more than one person to move them.
Mm-hmm.
So we still don't know.
And what made you want to start, the path of being an entrepreneur? What made you want to get into tailor-made rentals and rock my bundles?
Because I want something that my daughter can carry on for when, I'm old. Like, I don't want her to have to work for somebody if she doesn't want to work for somebody. Like, she may have her own dreams, and that's fine. But like, whenever she turns 16, her and her brother can do the bounce houses or, however they want to do it. Like, I want her to have something to where she doesn't have to necessarily go and get a summer job if she doesn't want to. This can be her hustle. Like, I want something that I can pass on to my kids.
That's a beautiful answer. People don't understand you can't pass on a job, but you can pass on a business. People don't understand that. That's why I preach invest in things you can actually own. Tangible assets. You know what I mean? A job, like I say, is just a position. If that job goes bankrupt, like we're seeing in COVID-19, what happens?
Exactly. Nothing to fall back on. Like, I need her. Yeah, I need her to have something to fall back on. Like, and it's a pretty good hustle. We make pretty good every weekend. On a sold out weekend, we make a good amount. And so I want her to have that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be her hustle if that's what she wants to do. It's gonna be her stepbrother's hustle if that's what he wants to do. Like, I want them to eventually take over it and make it as big as they want to make it.
Mhm.
Or if they want to sell it, then they can sell it. It's their thing. But I don't want them to have to depend on a job that'll, replace you in the event that something happens to you.
Exactly. That's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful answer. I wish more people had that mindset.
Yeah, it's real out here. Like, it's crazy. I don't want her to have to go through what I've seen. So many people get laid off. The unemployment rate is super high.
Mhm.
But because people have been getting unemployment checks, it hasn't stopped the bounce houses. So
Yeah. You're exactly right. And the issue that we're seeing right now with the economy, people are now making more with unemployment than they were at their job. So now I've seen business owners state this: I never thought I would have to fight with unemployment to retain my employees, you know? We have never seen something like COVID-19 before, you know?
It's our first time going through a pandemic like this.
It's insane. And I wish people would take it more seriously, you know? I see people asking, hey, when are we going to link up and party and do this and blah, blah, blah. I think we have to do our part in social distancing. You know, like we're still practicing at our house. Even if Abbott opens up, you know, Texas 100%, we're still doing our part because we have small children, you know, and we have to do our part as parents to make sure that, you know.
I already told my kids' teachers, if school opens up, we may not be returning.
Oh, this is why I'm glad my daughter is not in daycare, because she was a preemie. So like I gotta protect her at all costs. Like, no, you don't wash your hands before y'all come into this house. Wash your hands, take your shoes off, and then I'm gonna spray you down with lights on. Then we can go about our business. But like I gotta protect her, and I have to protect everybody in this house. That's my job. So.
Yeah, it's like when I will be coming back from like the grocery store, Amy's like, stop there in the garage. She'll spray me down with the Lysol and stuff. I'm coughing. You know what I mean? Because she sprayed me down.
Yeah, they say it's a lot. It's like worse than pneumonia. So,
But I'm getting bleach and I'm wiping everything down. I'm washing all the produce.
everything.
You looking at me like, I'm like, just leave it there. I got my gloves on, wiping everything down. I spray it with Lysol, everything. Like, I cannot risk it.
Because our numbers are going back up. Like they opened, like we had got in Waco, we had gotten down to 4 cases, and it seemed like as soon as they opened Waco back up, now we're up to like 14, I think.
Well, here's one thing you have to be mindful as well. Being that they increased the testing, you have to understand we're doing more tests, so you will have more cases. However, when you do the percentages of the amount of cases, the amount of tests compared to the amount of confirmed cases, we're still trending downwards, but we should still take it very seriously. You know what I mean?
With all the holidays coming around, everybody's at each other's houses, in each other's faces.
Memorial Day, they said forget COVID.
Exactly.
Oh my God! Being that Amy just brought up Memorial Day, did you see in Waco where the car hit the?
Oh yes, oh she did.
Oh my God!
We're not gonna talk about that.
We won't talk about that.
Auto 5 is the first thing I thought of. I thought it was a PS5 reenactment, a PS4 reenactment. I was like, dang, is that real?
But the still shot.
Yeah, when I first, somebody photoshopped and they put the GT. I'm like, this GTA looks very real. I thought it was for the PS5 coming out. I was like, these graphics look real.
You know,
It was real.
Boy, they was out there bowling with somebody granny. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I
It was a mixture of movies. It was a mixture of Baby Boy.
He don't love me no more.
Oh, I thought she was gonna say Holiday Heart.
No.
I got the bike holiday.
No. It's an inside joke. I gotta show you.
And it's not to make fun of the people who were hit with the vehicles, but we have to do better as a people. We have to do better.
We have to, like, we're getting killed daily by police officers. There's no point in making ourselves our own enemies. Like, stop it.
You are exactly